And a 3, 2, 1. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Heracles Porsche here today, also known as Guildlock in other places. And in today's video, we are taking a quick look at a unit that was added somewhat recently. It's the Self-Propelled Artillery unit. You can see the top left corner. As you can see, it is an epic unit. It does cost 4. Here are the stats for it. How's it going, Rock Banana? Um, So as you can see, keep in mind, of course, these are the stats for level 1. I was able to buy it in the store today. And the description there, of course, is very apt. It's the long range, so it is going to fire at bases from outside of the base machine gun range. Um, and why don't we just go right to do the replays? I'll yammer on about it as we go on. So here in this first build, this is pretty much this is like a mostly infantry build with a tank destroyer and bombardment. So this is what I would say would be like a good uh, set of units to mix the heavy or the self-propelled artillery into. See, it's not in the opening hand, but I'll actually just speed through.
No problem.
So okay, sorry, we're back at normal speed. So here's actually a good opening display. As you can see, it does fire from quite far away. It for the most part knocked out that howitzer. So yeah, that gave you an idea of the damage time. Obviously, like, not super impressed with the damage time there, like, you know, the DPS of it. But and it doesn't really get outside the range of the speed through this. So we're back on normal speed. As you can see, I'm mostly gonna wipe out this base without the help of the self-propelled artillery unit, but you will get a demo of it right here. And the units I've paired it with are all like kind of high damage units designed to kind of keep it safe. So in case it's targeted, the units that come in can wipe out whatever's targeting it pretty quickly. And this is like a decent demo. That's like a pretty good way to counter. As you can see, if it does hang on by a sliver, it does just continue to fire. And this is like one of a handful of situations where you kind of get your money's worth out of it. Also, it does, as you can see, it does pair quite nicely with the tank destroyer because it'll usually take that first shot from the gun turret. That's the turret that is the anti-tank turret. I know it's a confusing name for it. So I think this was a pretty good demo of you know, units that pair well with it. So that's I have a couple more replays I'm going to show you. I guess the biggest question about this thing is, do you have, like, what units it's competing against? Obviously the big unit, the most familiar unit for it to compete against is the rebel, or sorry, the sniper. And as you can see, that's the other unit that fires at bases from outside the machine gun range. This fighter, if you just want to do direct damage, I mean, obviously it's a very different function, but, you know, other things in the quick damage type, like the Jeep, the Jeep is another thing you could put in the slot. So it's like, why would I take it over one of those 3 units is really kind of the question to be asking. I'm not sure I have a, like, concrete, this is why you take it over those yet. Except it is, it does take that first shot from, okay, so this is a much different build. I have, this is a, what do you call it? So this is a build with a lot more bases in it, so you can just see something a little different. I wanted to do like, you know, at least 3 different replays with at least slightly different builds. I did try testing it with a few things, a couple different things. I've already lost like a good chunk of rank testing it out, because I mean, for now, it is a subpar unit in my mind. But keep in mind, every time I've tested a new unit, I kind of have felt awkward with it about first and sometimes got to like it more later. A good example of that is the Juggernaut. We're gonna speed through this till... Okay, so we're at normal speed. As you can see, his base is already in quite a bit of trouble there. Let's see. As you can see, most of the important plays are not actually being made with the artillery unit itself. I might just speed through. So for the most part, it's just kind of been there as like an optional thing. As you can see, top base is in quite a bit of trouble. So as you can see, it didn't get a whole lot of use there. So apologies if that felt like a bit of time wasted, but as you can see, I'm going to go through my replays here. Let's see, we'll do... Actually, this is the one from last night. It was the exact same build. Remember, I forgot to switch builds. So, hopefully this will be a better demo.
No problem.
Well, I've done alright for myself there, Rocket Banana, although, I do suffer for my art. I do,
Comms tower under construction. Oil de France. Gun turret deployed.
Okay, so sorry, we're moving this into... This is a much better demo of the unit. So as you can see, it is taking damage from that tank trap. I have seen it, if they put it flush with the edge, it is going to take damage from the tank trap, which is relevant. So we're just speeding through more of the replay here. So, here's a better example. He's not quite flush with the, this tank trap is not quite flush with the side, so it is getting lots of, it did get some damage in there. As you can see, the DPS isn't crazy, but, we're still in normal time, by the way. As you can see, if it ends up without any protection, it get wiped out pretty quickly. So, it doesn't have crazy health, it doesn't have crazy DPS. Its main advantage is just like that it fires from outside the range of the unit's, you know, outside the range of the unit's machine gun. That's kind of a weak advantage, and to get the most out of it, you really do have to pair it with a pretty specific set of units. I think I'll have a pretty good end demo here. You see I'm getting lots of units up to keep it, so it survives. It's actually relevant here as it does finish off that enemy base. So much more relevant to my actual victory there. It's totally fine for you to chat in the bar like this. There's just other videos where I had different setups, so don't worry about that at all, Rocket Banana. But yeah, what incentive? But like I said, it's hard for me to justify taking this unit over the Jeep because I just feel like the Jeep is a much more, even though it is going to, it is, uh, it is going to throw all the damage up in one quick sum. Uh, you know, it's more reliable. Um,
Listening in,
or
sir.
even, the plane is another unit of example. As you see, it's going to get wiped out really quickly because it did get hit with those commandos.
Let's do this!
Oh, it does give me a decent sized warning. So this is another this is a slightly different build. You can see I don't have the gun turret anymore. I've exchanged that for fortification. Hold on, we'll speed through this bit until at least the card's up. Alright, we're just gonna go to normal time. So you can see I do like to take a thing where I bring some units up. Behind that, anyway, as you can see, I'm against a very high ranked opponent here. He's like halfway through, the top 50 leaderboard. So we are switching back to normal time. So yes, I was pitted against a lot of top 50 players last night. I did lose quite a bit of rank testing this. Now here's a pretty good example of bringing up the rear with this unit. So it does feel quite relevant here. It is taking that first shot from the gun turret, which makes it feel more relevant. So definitely the top unit to pair this with, in my mind, is the tank destroyer. But you'd really want to build a whole floor to kind of protect it. You really wouldn't want this unit out by itself. You'd want it kind of as part of a whole combo. You really can't expect this unit to do anything by itself. It's not, and I just overall I'm gonna have a strong preference for using the sniper. Because the sniper's damage is much more subtle. It only costs 2, so it's like a cost-effective. I can spend 2, make them spend 3 type of thing. So, trying to put this into a situation where of course, the big thing to note is that it does do AoE damage. So, if you happen to time this unit right, and the enemy's putting units around their base, as it's going off, there is a lot of there's potential for collateral damage there. But because there are just so many other units that feel more reliable, they have collateral damage, or they're much more likely to deliver their damage. It is kind of hard to justify this unit in my lineup currently, but like I said, it is only level 1, so who knows? It's entirely within the realm of possibility to discover something new about a unit and decide it is worth using. But I would like to get lots of feedback from you guys if you've had a lot of success using this unit, or if you have a certain build you use this unit in and you want to share it. I would love to hear from you guys. I hope that was a pretty good demonstration for you guys. Everyone give a big shout out to Thordog, who gave me the very sage counsel that I should be doing this in replays rather than live. It's a much better way for me to show off new units. And yeah, I hope that guys gave you a good idea of the artillery unit, like a fair, balanced review of, does it belong in your lineup? What units should it be paired with? I hope that was helpful. And until next time, everybody, I shall see you Starside.